recording. So we've got quite a lot to get through today, including some preterite versus imperfect, which generally causes a bit of controversy, and I suspect this week's going to be no different. So we'll better allow a bit of time for that. We'll push ahead. So, bienvenidos a la lección 30 de la clase de Español Plus. ¿Qué pasó? No pasa nada. That was a new phrase I learnt today. Not today, this week. ¿Qué pasó? Obviously means like, what's happened? No pasa nada basically is a little phrase that you can use to say, well, either nothing much happened, or if there's been a mini disaster, like the milk's been spilt or a cup's been dropped, you can say no pasa nada, nothing happened, which means don't worry about it, really. Entonces, ¿estás listo? Empecemos. ¿Qué tenemos esta semana? There's always homework, isn't there? We've also got a round of puedes decir, which I think is doing quite. I think it's doing good things for the vocabulary of our basic class students. They're learning lots of new things, some useful, some not so useful. We learned what the Spanish was for hovercraft this week, and I've completely forgotten it. So there we go. We've got more verbs in our essential verbs list, and I want to spend some time. We've got 5 more weeks before we have a break for the summer. Yeah, I can hear everybody calling. So I'm going to spend those weeks looking at prepositions in Spanish and the rules around how they're used. I'm a bit cavalier with my prepositions. If I'm not sure, I tend to stick an at in. But this is teaching me that I've been saying lots of things incorrectly for quite a long time. Nobody's bothered about it, but there we are. So let's take a look at those. Just mute Bryn because he's on the phone there. Okay, so last week's homework. We've got to decide whether we're going to use the preterite or the imperfect, and then conjugate it. So what could be easier than that? I don't know. Mangala, you're at the top. Do you want to start us off? Just
I'm
do
not
these
sure
two.
whether I have done it correctly, but I give it a go.
Yeah, well, that's fine. That's exactly. Okay. Yeah, I think you can only learn this by making lots and lots of errors. So the more errors you make, the better. Yeah.
Mi hermana vino a visitarme la semana pasada y la vi muy cambiada. Estaba más delgada, llevaba el pelo largo. Me parece que se sentía mucho más feliz.
Yeah, that's good.
All wrong?
No. I think you just made one mistake, which was here. Pareció, is that what you said, or did you say pareció?
No, I said me parece. Parece. Yeah. No.
Parece.
Yeah. I made a mistake there. Yeah.
So, so she seemed. It seemed to me that she felt much happier. Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Same.
Perfect.
Okay.
Bang
So
on.
one mistake. Okay.
Bang on. Bang on.
Got it.
Yeah.
Continue.
Yeah, let's have a look at the next one.
Raquel y Ima estudiaron en la facultad durante 5 años, pero no se conocían hasta varios años después. Cuando un día se encontraron en el barrio y descubrieron que eran vecinos.
Good. Yeah. Excellent. Now I've got pero no se conocieron. But they didn't know each other. Yeah. But you had something different there, didn't you?
Yeah, I put imperfect because it's over so many years. Yeah. So I thought whether it is a part of I didn't know really. I really didn't know.
No. Well, I wouldn't bet my mortgage on me being right, but I think it is.
I put the same as Mangala for the same reason she gave.
Did you? Yeah. Well, it's a good argument. They they both studied at the same college for 5 years, but they didn't know each other until some years later. I think it should be preterite. My little test is: can you say use? I mean, it's not a great test, and it doesn't work in every case. But I try and say used to in the thing, and I don't think I think that's over and done with. They didn't know each other, so I think that's right. But well done, Mangala. That's a really good effort. Really good effort. So
carry on.
No. We'll give you a break. We're going to share the pain for this exercise. Okay. Oh, so the next person's got the short straw because they've got 3, and the next person on my screen is Ken, who's sitting one down from the door. Yeah. Now, how'd you get on, Ken?
Well, let me forewarn you, I'm going to learn an awful lot from this exercise based on your rules, right?
Yes.
I really struggled. Anyway, here we go. Ramon cambió de trabajo porque estaba harto, trabajando más de 8 horas diarias y ganando una miseria. Por lo menos ahora trabaja en algo que le gusta.
Okay. Yeah. So it's a bit like the scoreline Scotland versus England. It's going to be 2-2. So Cambio definitely preterite fit is finished, and he used to be fed up, so that's definitely imperfect. He worked more than 8 hours a day, so he used to work more than 8 hours a day, and he was miserable. So I think both of those are imperfect.
Can I ask a question, Eric?
Yeah.
And it's my probably lack of English, but I wasn't sure because we had estaba at the beginning of those phrases, whether that carried through, and hence I used the ando throughout the rest because I felt that was dominant. Can you just correct that for a second?
Well, estaba is in the imperfect, isn't it?
Yeah, but then normally it's followed by andos.
Oh, I said, yeah.
On both cases, I used andos.
Oh.
So you said what? You said
Well, basically estabo, but then I used trabajando and I used ganadando.
No,
rather than
no, because you hadn't got the estar before it.
Yeah.
But doesn't estaba go right through the whole piece?
No.
No. I think
okay.
I think if you're using the past participle, you need
Yes.
to have a either a star or conjugation of a star in either the preterite or
Yeah, got you.
imperfect.
Yeah. Understand.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Nice thinking, though. Nice thinking. I have promoted the use of the past participle as a or the past continuous as a sort of bit of a cheat, but
Okay. Yeah.
so, yeah.
I'd say I found them very complex, but there you go.
Yeah.
Right,
No, I think you got a good understanding of that one. Yeah. That's good.
Okay.
La
Okay.
fiesta.
La fiesta de ayer fue un desastre. No había suficiente deber para todas. La música era horrible. Nadie bailaban. Además, venían muy poco gente. Total que aburras. Total me abura mucho.
Okay. Yeah. So this is what I got. La fiesta de ayer fue un desastre. So that's there wasn't sufficient drink for everyone. So preterite.
Okay.
The music was horrible. I don't know if there's 2 R's in horrible. Nobody was dancing.
Is that singular, please? Singular rather than plural, that is it?
Yeah, nobody. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
And then in addition, not many people came. In total, I was very bored. So,
isn't that a sentiment? So wouldn't it be an imperfect?
Yeah, yeah. A feeling, sentiment, yeah.
So I'll put it down. Aburia.
Yeah, yes. Me too.
Aburia.
Me too.
Yes, yes.
I love if I'm outvoted. Yeah.
And me.
Yeah. I think it's a good bet. I think there's a good argument for that.
Eric.
Yes, Mangala.
We have used preterite for bebidas, hubo sufficient bebida. And then why bailaba is in imperfect? It should be bailo. Nadi bailo. That shouldn't be in preterite.
Nadi bailo.
Like other things.
Well, I think
it's difficult.
It is. I think because it's a description. That's the music was horrible. Well.
Yeah, that is correct.
It was horrible. Yeah.
But nobody danced.
Nobody danced.
You think that should be in the preterite?
Well, I don't know.
I know.
That's what I
know. Nobody was dancing.
Isn't it? Nobody was dancing. Nobody was dancing. So that's imperfect.
But then it should be estaba bailando.
Well, yeah, but it's got the same meaning.
Well, both of those would make sense in the context of the sentence. I found that a bit, it wasn't clear. It could have been either, depending how you interpret the sense of it, really. And I've got more or less the opposite of what you've got.
Right.
Hubo.
Me too. Me
I've
too.
got hubo like you have, but yeah, other things. And a buria at the end, like somebody suggested. But yeah, no. But there we go.
About burrito. Oh, no, maybe.
I had no había suficiente.
Abia. Yes, that's what.
That's
There wasn't enough
Aburia.
drink. I did this exercise a little while ago, and I had to do it in one of my Spanish classes, and I'm going on the corrections that my teacher gave me, and in the end I said I was bored, me aburría mucho, and that was corrected to preterite. So I thought, like you, that it was a sentiment, but that's what she had down. Where are we? Hubo, era horrible, bailaba.
Yeah, because I mean, and bored is a sentiment. You don't know when did it start, when did it finish. I don't know. It's
Well, I guess it started at the party when nobody came, so maybe it was I was bored. I was very bored.
I thought they were describing a single event of fiesta. So most of the things should be in preterite, except the emotions and that kind of thing. I don't know. What do you think?
I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll ask her about that and see what she says. I'll double check. She might have marked me down wrongly in the last one. Always nice to get a reprieve. Okay, so Ken, Jordi.
Okay, Jordi viajó a Buenos Aires el año pasado y lo encantaba. Dice que la gente era simpática y la ciudad impresionante.
Okay, viajó. Yes, he went to Buenos Aires last year, and he loved it. So both of those in the preterite.
Again, though, Eric, because it's a sentiment, that's what made me think it would be imperfect. Because
good.
Yeah,
I put that in the imperfect and
Cantaba.
Cantaba. It's
But I take your point. It's definitive. He was there last year, and that was how he felt. Full stop. Bang. It's over. It's finished. Yeah.
Do you know, it occurred to me, I had to phone a friend this morning. I was getting into such a state
Wow.
of relief. And it was just going over and over in my head. I couldn't make my mind up. And she felt the same, actually. But it just occurred to me somehow that it sounds awful, but I don't really care. If I could speak a bit of fluent Spanish,
I agree, Maggie.
I'm never going to worry about the right tense.
Yeah.
And if they understand me, that is amazing, you know, even with terrible Spanish. You know, and I can't put myself through the agony of this.
okay. I was going to ask you next,
I'm not. I'm not writing voices, and I know it's part of it.
Maggie, I'm with you, Maggie.
Right.
I'm with you.
Oh, good. I'm glad somebody's with me.
Okay. Well, we're going to steer clear of the subjunctive if this is what you think of.
Eric. So based on the football analogy, what's the score now for me, please, before you move on?
I've not been keeping score that
good. That's
closely.
fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think you've.
Thank you.
I think you've lost
Draw.
on penalty. I think you've lost on penalties, Ken.
Okay.
Well, perhaps Ken can have one of those things where you has it gone offside? Because the offside rule is
Offside
very
rule,
difficult,
yeah.
isn't it? Like the very difficult.
So we've got 3 more. Maybe Susan, would you tackle these? Just back from Spain, I bet your head is still full.
As you know, I guess things. Yo no sabía nada de arte, pero se puso a estudiar por su cuenta, porque apasionaba Picasso y se convirtió en una experta. Ahora trabaja en el Museo Reina Sofía.
Good. Yeah, that was bang on. We're just missing a pronoun in what are we on, number
Ella.
6?
Se puso.
Yeah, because it's le apasionaba a ella, so we have to stick in the pronoun. So that was the only bit missing. Well done. Yep.
Lay, yes, I see. I put say there, not lay. Yes. Mystery. Yes. Do you want one more?
I want 2 more, if that's okay. Could you do the next 2 on screen?
Vosotros dos nunca me visitaron cuando vivía en Marruecos, pero Clara era muy difícil porque en aquella época vosotros vivíais en Moscú y estábamos demasiado lejos.
Yep. Okay, so we have
Yeah.
Vosotros, yes.
Nosotros dos nunca
Yes, I
me
didn't do the yes.
visitabais. Yeah.
Thank you.
Cuando vivía en Marruecos, pero claro, era muy difícil porque en aquella época vosotros you were living in Moscow, and it was too far. So good, well done. Little error on the first one, and the next one.
Tú eras malo de pequeño, no jugaba con niños, pegabas a tus hermanos y le peleaba siempre con los compañeros. Me acuerdo que un día el profesor te sorprendía escondido en los servicios y te castigó sin recrear durante una semana.
Okay, so tú eras malo de pequeña. You were very bad when you were little. You used to be very bad.
Yes, on pegaba.
Shouldn't that be pegabas?
Yeah, I think both that should be hugabas and pegabas, because we're still talking two, aren't we? So yeah, that's my mistake there. So quite right.
Yes.
And you're always hitting your classmates. And one day the professor found you hiding in the toilets, came across you and punished you.
I'm very familiar.
Yeah.
Yes.
So,
I felt rather.
so well, I think we're all going to be hiding in the toilet soon, aren't we?
Sorprendio. I put sorprendia. Yes, sorprendio.
Sorprendio. Yeah. Because he found you.
Yes.
Surprised you rather.
Mhm.
And he punished you. So it's he doing it. So and the action is over and done with. So it's preterite. Yeah. Okay. So there's a couple of they should both be in the two. The other ones. Right, who are we going to choose next? I think we need a bit of Bryn.
Well, I've got a method. I'll just toss up a euro and see which it comes down, heads or tails. I'll do it. Cuando éramos pequeños, mis hermanos y yo livábamos muy bien, y eso que éramos 8. Pero durante la comunión de Iago, mi hermano Jesús, enfadado, con nosotros porque no le gustaba el traje y se pasó el día llorando y sin hablar.
Okay. Cuando éramos pequeños, when we were small, so definitely imperfect.
Yeah.
We dressed well, and there were 8 of us, so that's we were 8. So it's all a description of what's happened in the past, and it's definitely imperfect, no doubts there. But during the communion of Iago, my brother Jesus was angry. It's a reflexive verb, so we need reflexive pronoun in there. Se enfado. I've missed the accent of the O. Very sorry. With us, because he didn't like his suit, and he spent the day crying and not speaking with anybody. Yeah. So we're moving into preterite for the final sentence. You had some imperfect in there, didn't you, Bryn?
Which one? The se paso.
What did you have? Did you have Gustava?
Yes, I had Le Gustavo. Sorry, yeah.
Yeah.
Because why did I say that? Yeah, because he didn't. Yeah, it isn't that. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Last one.
Right. Mis mejores recuerdos son del año que estaba en Italia de Erasmus. Era maravilloso. Conocí a mucha gente. Aprendí muchísimo y no se aburrirse ni un momento. No tuve tiempo para nada. Por las mañanas iba a la universidad. Por las tardes quedaba casi siempre con los amigos y por las noches estudié a salir de marcha. Algunos fines de semana visité otras ciudades.
Okay.
Or visitaba,
So my best memories are the year that I spent in Italy on Erasmus. It was marvelous. I've used the preterite for that because both of those things are in the past and over and done with.
Yeah, I use the imperfect because it was I know I've got this hookup with wasn't and wearing.
It's not a recurring action in the past, is it?
No.
So something that he or she did, and it's done with.
Right.
Conocí a mucha gente. So let's say she met many people. She learned a lot, and she wasn't bored for a moment. So all that's there's a line behind that, isn't there? While she was there, she didn't have time for anything. So there's an ongoing action in the past here. In the mornings, she went to the university. There's a list of ongoing actions. In the afternoon, she met almost always with friends, and in the evening she used to study, used to go out on the town, and some weekends she used to visit other cities. So I think you conceded a few goals there, Bryn.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. I find this difficult. I found this quite a difficult exercise. And looking at my initial notes, I've got quite a few wrong. So it's tricky. It's a tricky thing to do, and you have to decide quite quickly, almost on the fly, what you're going to do. I think, as Maggie said, it's much more important to be understood with a bit of bad grammar than not be understood.
Yeah.
But you're taking a few steps along an understanding of tenses, and the more you practice, the more you think about it, and the more you hear, the better your understanding becomes, until you reach a point where, like English, it sounds right or it doesn't sound right, and that's what you sort of that's what you take as your clue, isn't it? When we're constructing a sentence, we know if it sounds right, and if it doesn't, we know about it. So that's where we're aiming for. Still a while away, still a little way away. So let's have a look at. Sorry, Bryn.
No, I was just going to say, I didn't find them too bad most of the way, but the 10th one, I completely got it the wrong way around. Most of it, anyway.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but it's by making mistakes that we learn. So do not be downhearted. Maggie, don't phone a friend by all means. Yeah.
Well,
Phone Lorna, she'd love to spend half an hour discussing the imperfect or the preterite with you.
Oh yeah, sure.
Okay, so we're going to.
Are there any little things online that you can listen to? You know, little YouTube things where people speak in Spanish using these verb tenses.
You can, if you go onto Spanish Dict, and you go onto the exercises section, there are quite a number of exercises where you'll be part of a conversation going on between two people in Spanish, and you'll be asked to choose preterite or imperfect. So you can do that. That's quite a good one, and you get instant gratification or disappointment. So it's you don't have to wait a week for me to tell you you're not right. Okay, so Maggie, you're up next. Actually, puedes decir 4 objetos que normalmente se encuentran en la mesa de un restaurante.
I'm not sure about the genders. La cuchillo?
Un cuchillo.
Un cuchillo.
Sí.
La sal.
La sal, sí, muy bien.
I don't know the word for cloth. Agua and botella de agua.
Yeah, okay.
Cuchara.
Una cuchara, sí.
Cuchara.
See, well, that's 4. That's 4. You've done your bit. Thank you. Beryl, have you got 4 that you could suggest?
No. my mind after that exercise, my mind is completely.
Oh dear! I should have done it. I should have done it right at the end. Then we could have all had a lie down in the sun, couldn't we?
I can't think of a single thing.
You can find on a table. Picture yourself in a nice restaurant. What's in front of you? What do we eat off?
Oh, I was going to say El Camarero. El Camarero Guapo.
Sexy waiter.
Oh, see.
Right. Hey. I've not. That wasn't on my list, but you might find one.
Tenedor.
Tenedor. Un tenedor, sí.
El menú.
Aceituno.
So what was that one, Susan?
Aceituno, olive oil.
Oh, right, yeah.
Oil and vinegar.
Los flores.
Siempre con la sal y pimiento.
Pimiento.
Vaso de flores.
A glass of flowers.
Yeah.
Okay.
Servietas.
Servietas, sí.
El menú.
El menú.
I had a. This is my list. I must have, a bit like Beryl. I thought, well, let's do this one. I sat down to make a list. I was thinking, well, after a plate, a glass, a knife, and a fork, or in a spoon, off we got. And it did take a little while to build the list up. La salsa sauce, la cuenta, the bill. I've got a few others now as well. So thank you for that. Jill Falls, puedes decir 3 objetos que nos llevamos a la playa.
Can't think of
This,
any.
this was quite a struggle for me as well.
Toallas or something, towels.
Yeah, una toalla.
I guess.
Oh, sombrero del sol.
Sun hat, yeah.
Y agua.
We got water in everyone so far. But absolutely, yes, you should take water, yes. Okay. Who can
Cream.
Las gafas del sol.
gafas del sol, see?
Crema del sol. Crema del sol.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Crema.
Bloqueador solar, see?
La pala.
La
Spain.
pala.
Y cubeta.
Y cubeta. Yeah. Bucket and spade.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
El libro.
Oh, good, yes. Yeah.
El picnic.
Un picnic. Muy bien. Yeah.
El parasol.
Parasol or sombrilla. See?
Arena.
What was that one?
Paragus.
Arena.
Avena.
Arena. I think it's arena. A-R-E-N-A. Arena. No.
La hamaca. Deck chair.
Oh, blimey. That's too English to travel to Spain, isn't it? Don't they have sun lounges in Spain with German towels all over them? Or have I been reading too much Daily Mail? I've been reading the Daily Mail. Oh, this was my little list. I thought una pelota, or bola. Traje de baño, unless you're on a nudist beach. Un picnic, and I couldn't go to a beach without taking my dog. So she's banned from some Norfolk beaches for the summer, quite rightly. But it's always nice to have your dog with you on the beach. Oh, okay. Well done. Well done. Last one. Who have we got here? Lorna's next on the list. Lorna, puedes decir todas las decenas del 10 al 100.
Okay. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100.
Sí, muy bien. 90.
Oh, no. 90.
90. Yeah, 90. Well done. Good. Perfect. Okay, so we're going to move on to practicing these verbs. We've got most of them pretty well done. We've done all those in green, so we've got on pretty well with this. The next ones that I was going to do were amar, to love. So who's on my list? Julie, can you conjugate amar?
Okay. Amo, amas, ama, amamos, amais, aman.
Aman. Good. It's a nice regular verb, isn't it? We love those. And can you translate this sentence? I love you. Do you love me? You can practice this on Paul later. Yeah?
Te amo.
Me amas.
Me amas.
Amas, yeah. we'd definitely use the informal in that situation, wouldn't we? I speak to my Ecuadorian family quite a bit on WhatsApp, and my granddaughter Julia's been. She knows how to leave a little voice. I don't know if you use WhatsApp. You can leave a little voice message, and she leaves a voice message, and it amuses her greatly to say. I say I love you very much, and she says, Wei Wei, I love you very, 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 very. She'll go on until she runs out of breath, and then she'll take another deep breath, and she'll start off again, and you'll hear her mum say, "That's enough," very, very much. So she loves playing with English, and you can do that sort of crazy thing in English. It doesn't work quite the same in Spanish. I retaliated by saying "te amo mucho, 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 mucho," and then I got told off by Lucy. You can't say that. It doesn't work. If you want to say you love somebody very much, "te amo muchísimo" or "te amo tanto." Both of these bits. I love you lots, so I love you so much. So there we go. A little bit of love in Spanish. Okay, the next verb I've chosen is pedir, to ask for something. How's Tony feeling? Are you feeling well, Tony? My yellow irises that you gave me are all in flower, each one of them.
Oh, very good. Yeah, really sorry, Eric. I've been a bit distracted by some goings on in the marina.
Have you? What, this afternoon?
Well, I disappeared for quite a while there.
Oh, I'm so sorry, I haven't seen you.
No, it's all right.
Are you up to conjugating pedir?
I don't think so. Without referring to the book.
Okay, all right. Well, we'll ask. We'll phone a friend. Shanta. Yes. Shanta, are you good for a little conjugation in the pedir? Shanta's. I can't see Shanta. There you are.
I'm not very sure.
Pido.
I think it is an irregular verb.
Stem changer.
It is a stem changer. Yes, it is.
Pido.
I think
yeah.
Pido, pides, pide.
Yes.
Pedemos, pedais.
Pedis.
Pedisi.
Pedis.
Pedis, yeah.
Pedis. And the last one is
pedan. I thought somebody else was doing it for me. So.
Oh, they're all chipping in to help, okay. Shanta. I think that's what they're doing here.
So it is pido, pides, pide, pedemos, pidais, pedan, or pidan.
Piden. See.
Piden.
Yeah.
Piden.
There we go. Pido, pides, pide, pedimos, pedis, piden. So I don't tend to use this verb very much unless I've got the wrong thing. So I ask for such and such. So otherwise I tend to use it in the infinitive. So
oh yes.
Rinse off again. Where's he gone? Let me see if I can silence Bryn's phone. No, I can't. So, Mangala.
Yeah.
How would you say? I'm going to ask the waiter for more water.
Voy a pedir el camarero más agua.
Huh? And how would you say, this is not what I asked for?
Esto no es que pido.
I asked Paddy. So I'm going to ask the waiter for more water. I've got the pronoun in there, even though I've mentioned the noun. I've got the pronoun. It's a typical Spanish trick. Le voy a pedir más agua al camarero. El camarero, la camarera. If it was a female waiter, a la camarera. This is not what I asked for. Esto es no lo que pedí. Does the trick. Pedí is I asked. That's the they're the only two. They're the only two I really use. Pedir as in the infinitive. Pedí, I asked for something.
No es sounds better than es no.
Esto no es.
Esto no es lo que pedí sounds better than.
It does, doesn't it? You're right. Yeah, you're right. You're right. No es. We should really have the
sounds better.
Negative before the verb. Absolutely. Better Spanish. Better grammar. Good. So let's have a little whiz through this. Prepositions. So we've got 5 weeks before we take a summer break, and I wanted to use that to revise prepositions, including the dreaded para be por. We'll start off this week, and we'll have some of these for homework. So that's good. It's not as bad as imperfect versus preterite. I think you know most of these, and you'll think, oh, of course I know that. But there's 1 or 2 rules that when you delve into it, that you think, actually I have been saying that, but now I understand why. Or, oh, I haven't been saying that. And I am a bit of a bit lax when it comes to prepositions. Often I'll just stick an at in if I can't think of any of what the right one might be. So let's have a look at these. A is the common one. So a and horas go together. So te espero a las 5. I wait for you at 5. La fiesta acabó a medianoche. So the party started at midnight. Sounds like a party. He quedado con Amalia at mediodía. I met with Amelia at midday. Margarita se suele levantar a las 6. Margarita usually gets up at 6. So we've got times of the day. A is the preposition that goes together with them. And I think the English equivalent here is at, isn't it? At. At equals at in this case. It can equal other things, but at equals at. Por versus parts of the day. For example, ahora estoy trabajando por las tardes. I'm now working in the afternoons. We talk about por la mañana, por la noche. So parts of the day plus por. But be careful because there are some examples. So we talk about dia. So the day of the day is de. And de madrugada, the dawn, or when there's a number involved, we don't say por, we say day. Las 7 de la mañana, 7 in the morning. So por, I guess, is the equivalent to during in English. Do stop if you've got any questions or queries, and I'll do my best to answer. But this. I think we're using all of these as they are. So, and you may not have realised some of the more subtle differences, but I suspect you're all already doing these correctly. So N plus months, seasons, and years. So, por ejemplo, Alisa y Armando se casan en enero. Alisa and Armando will marry in January. Mi cumpleaños es en verano. My birthday is in the summer. Colón, as in Christoph Colón, llegó a América en 1492.
Jersey milk. So it's rich in grass.
So all N, but when we talk about months, years, and dates, it changes subtly. So, Colón llegó a América el 12 de octubre de 1492. So there's a few little things that catch us out that make the rule a bit more difficult to learn. And N plus momento. So we say en este momento no puede atenderte. I can't help you at this time. Nuria va a llegar en cualquier momento. Nuria is going to arrive any minute. En plus momento. En plus meses. So en plus meses, seasons and years, is in English, and en plus momento is at. It can mean slightly different things. So hasta, to indicate the the end of a particular action or situation, and I guess we're with the English equivalent of until. Estaré en casa hasta las 8. I'll be at home until 8. Teresa vivió en Cuba hasta 1987. Teresa lived in Cuba until 1987. Okay, that indicates the end of an action or a situation. Now we have desde to indicate the start of an action or a situation, the beginning. And we'd say here, I think the English equivalent is since. Amanda no me llama desde Navidad. Amanda hasn't called me since Christmas. No me siento bien desde ayer. I haven't felt well since yesterday. Desde. So we can use desde y hasta to indicate the start and end of an action or a situation, but we can also use de and a. Now, as far as I know, these two are pretty much interchangeable. So Lucia vivió en Panamá de 1999 a 2001. She lived in Panama from 1999 until 2001. Trabajó solo de lunes a jueves. I work only Sunday to Thursday.
Monday
to Thursday, sorry. Natalia and desde. So Natalia tiene clases desde las 5 hasta las 7. Natalia has classes from 5 until 7. Just a thing to note here, that when you use de and a, you don't need to put an article on the hours when we're talking about times. For example, este dentista tiene consulta los viernes de 5 a 7. We don't need to say de las 5 a las 7. But if you're using desde and hasta, you do need to put in an article. I don't know why that is. Okay. Antes de, durante, después de. So before, during, and after. Antes del partido, durante el partido, después del partido. Before, during, and after. I think these are pretty obvious. Just remember that you have to say antes de and después de, but we don't say durante de. And examples: estuvieron hablando durante todo la película. They were talking throughout the whole film, during the whole film. Dimos una vuelta después de la cena. We'll take a walk after lunch. We take a walk after lunch. And you can use durante plus a period of time. Durante dos días. I'm just conscious that we're running over time a bit. I'll finish. I think I've just got one more to do. Dentro de and a period of time to refer to a particular place in future. So te llamo dentro de los días. Vuelvo dentro de 5 minutos. I'll be back in 5 minutes. I'll call you in a couple of days. So to referring to something that's going to be happening in time, dentro de.
Oh.
So I guess that means within is the obvious one. Reading them out like this is a terrible way to learn anything. But you've got the sort of rules written down there in your notes. What we'll do for homework is we'll try some exercises that will sort of get you to think about which one you should be using and how you should be using it. So I'll send those round with the notes in a couple of days, hopefully. I'm on granddaughter duties tomorrow, so I'll be too shattered when I get back to think about Spanish. But we'll send them round within a couple of days. Okay. Any questions on that? We've sort of run over time as always. I guess everybody's been reading the book, and what an exciting stage we're at. We will skip the reading today. I know you've all read it. It's all getting very exciting. Enrique's should have got a proper password on his computer. Mine always insists I put a password in, so they probably I can't do without it. And they've found incriminating emails, and it was he and Lena. What a pair of schemers, eh? There were a couple of interesting phrases and words, so to do with IT vocabulary. Bandeja is a serving tray, and I wasn't sure in this case whether it meant the server, computer server, or a folder. Either would work. And a Castilla de mailbox, which is yeah, great. So homework for next week. We'll do the next 2 chapters, and I'm going to send you some more exercises around to run through, and I'll do that in a couple of days. So thanks ever so much, everybody.
Thank you.
We'll, I'm sorry about the imperfect lesson.
Far from perfect, actually.
So I'll double check those things and add them to the notes, or we'll just underline them next week and see whether what we're up to. Okay, excellent. Well done. See you all next week. Same time, same place. Ciao.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Bye. Bye.
Bye.